And the video has started to roll. Radio to begin in moments. Hi, hello, and good day to you. It's December the 16th. This is Delaware County Today. I am staring directly into what I believe to be is the correct camera. I really don't know. This is our new video-audio multi-purpose studio on the campus of Woof Boom Radio, south side of Muncie, Indiana, which is in Delaware County, which is going to talk about Yorktown in just a minute. Leslie, hot mic? And people are talking this December the 16th about the weather. There are some big changes again forthcoming. State Rep Sue Arrington live at 8:30 in our Zoom room. Actually, no, she'll be in the room. We'll have Tammy Silverman at 8:45 in the Zoom. I'm Steve Lindell. Let's start with our weather guy. His name is Paul Poteet. All right, thank you very much, Paul Poteet. I knew you'd get to the whole forecast. Attaboy. Nanjing, China is now listening on the interwebs. Apparently, that might be one of the competitors in the past. I wouldn't be surprised of none other than Chase Bruton, who is now in our studio. And for those watching on the video replay, he does look a little like a mountain man this morning. Chase, hello.
Hello. I'm growing it out. It's getting cold.
I like it. It's good. Does it help with the warmth and so forth?
Yeah, it doesn't help with the ears. My ears are the first thing to always get cold. There's not a lot of blood flow anymore with the cauliflower.
What do you get with the cauliflower, which is a side part of your other job and passion in life? The other big passion is town manager, Yorktown, Indiana. That's why he's here. His second guest appearance in our video-audio multi-purpose studio. Have you told your friends about your first visit?
I did. I post it all the time on LinkedIn. I also put it on my Instagram, so all the jiu-jitsu people get to see it as well.
Okay. Do you think there's anybody from Nanjing, China that might have played jiu-jitsu matches or fought with you or whatever?
I did compete against 3 Chinese competitors before in Nagoya, Japan, so I don't know where they were from.
Okay. Do you want to say anything? Do you want to taunt them? Create an international incident here on WMUN right now?
I won the matches, so that's all that matters.
He's very competitive. Let's get to the subject of Yorktown, Indiana, one of the many great communities in Delaware County. And you had a board meeting just yesterday. What did you cover there?
We did. So obviously, end of the year stuff. We had the election of officers. Mr. Brian Smith made the motion for Jason Gassaway to continue to be the president going into the new year, and also made the motion for Nancy Sears Perry to continue to be the vice president. So same there. And they both accepted their nominations.
All right, excellent. If they didn't accept the nominations, does that make you have to do more work? Is that a sort of a fallback, scary thing?
No, I really with the president. Obviously, they're the one that conducts the meeting. But whenever there's kind of like an emergency or something, generally speaking, the president and the vice president are who I like send a text message to and kind of trust in them to disseminate the information to the other council members. They do a good job of all communicating with each other. But if we have a wreck or something like that that I think is pressing for them to know about before it hits the Facebooks, I make sure I let them know.
Good thinking. Job security. Communication is critical. This is Chase Bruton, Town Manager, Yorktown. I'm Steve Lindell. We're on WMUN's Delaware County Today. Something about a new strategic plan was also locked down at your meeting last night, correct?
That is true. So we've been working with Civitas Strategies the last year here, and we really got a bunch of different groups together, members from the county, local businesses, the chamber, some folks from our Parks Board and other people who are involved, like in JAA, and really wanted to look at, what does the outlook look like for Yorktown in the next 5 years? How should growth happen? What are the things that we want to prioritize and focus on? And we did a lot of community outreach with that as well. We had a survey. We had a kind of like a meet and greet at the farmers market and at the concert series about it. And so this was really finalizing that document and putting it together. And I'm really happy with how it turned out.
I'm hearing a lot about Ready 2.0 grants, announcements around cities and towns around the state of Indiana. And I've not heard anything specific about Yorktown. Can you give us an update as to what your upside might be there, Chase?
Yep. So we're part of the East Central Indiana region. It's 8 counties. Our region was given $35 million for the Ready 2.0. We were granted $1 million of that $35 million. We had a developer picked out. The deal ended up not really working out with that developer, so we went back and talked to Ready, and they were willing to let us kind of switch developers. So we are currently in negotiations with another developer. That project is focusing on the 4 blocks right behind Town Hall along Canal Street, so we're really hoping to get some density in that area and really get some more people living in the downtown to kind of spur business and keep the community walkable down there.
Recently, Yorktown had their annual Luminary event. I've heard good things. The weather was kind of tight and kind of tough. I heard you had a special guest specifically related to your family lineage.
Yes, yeah. Mama Bruton made her way up from Bloomington for the Luminary Festival, so
Mama
she was very
Bruton.
excited.
I love that.
Yeah, she took a photo with the gingerbread man and with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And so we have a nice little family photo now. So that was good. We were a little worried because the weather really kind of took a turn on us for it. We had an ice skating rink near Town Hall, and I got a call that morning that they were like, do you want to cancel this ice skating rink? And I was like, we're pulling the trigger on it. Let's just keep going. And when I drove by at about 1 o'clock by the ice skating rink, there was only like 10 kids out there, and I was like, I'm worried about this.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, the place was packed. And we had a really good showing. We had about 1,000 people at the market at the middle school, so that was great. And then we estimate we had about 1,000 people downtown at 6 p.m. for the tree lighting ceremony. So we got all new decorations and all that. We were really happy with the turnout.
Yorktown, the tree controversy, which was actually laid out here on Delaware County Today, was it indeed? Did we get to the Yorktown, Indiana historians to determine factually if this indeed was the first tree for Yorktown that was lit, or if there were some predecessors?
This was the first tree that was lit. We previously had strings of lights on a pole, which that was the point of the argument was does that count as a tree?
And the answer turned out to be?
I believe we all kind of decided that is not technically a tree.
Was there a resolution offered at the board meeting? And did it get? I'm trying to make something out of nothing here. Can you tell?
No, we handled it all internally. We were very happy with the tree. I was very worried about the tree. I'll be completely honest with you because
worried about a tree?
I was, because I was the one who ordered it, and I was like, is it going to be tall enough? Is it going to look weird in the middle of the Civic Green? I think we got the perfect size. And then when you're ordering ornaments, I've never put ornaments on or on a 20-foot tree.
Okay.
So I ordered 350 of them.
Yeah.
I think it was perfect.
Oh, really?
Happy with how it turned out.
Look at you. You are you're an interior designer for Sandy Claus. Yeah. This is Chase Bruton, always looking for a next gig there, or a side gig. Town manager, Yorktown is his real gig. He is here with us on WMUN's Delaware County Today. So we mentioned earlier the Ready 2.0 grants. There's also the Community Crossing grants, and I understand that Yorktown had some nice wins there. Give us the 30,000-foot view first for our listeners and viewers of what the Community Crossing grant is intended for.
Yeah. So the Community Crossing grant is a matching grant program through INDOT. I believe it is off of vehicle registration dollars that then go to INDOT, and communities can then apply to for a matching grant for certain projects. There's a lot of paperwork you have to fill out and all of that. Previously, there was $350 million allocated annually by INDOT for that program, and it was in two different application phases per year. Recently, at the state level, they reduced that to one application process per year, and they reduced the amount from $350 million to $100 million.
Wow, and I understand you had some very good help from a lot, but including Bill Walters and his organization?
Yep. Bill Walters, Michelle Batters, and Jacob Thomas is the newest member there with the ECIRPD, so the East Central Indiana Regional Planning District.
That's exactly right.
Happy that I got that one right.
It's a long one.
It's a long one, yeah. They helped us with our application through that process. They know the application more than we do, and they helped three different communities around this area get funding through that. It was Yorktown, Daleville, and Chesterfield. So big win for the local community there. We got our full ask of $421,000. So I was very worried about it. Was probably going to have to cut some of the project down if we didn't get it. We got it, so we're fixing roads in 2026.
Couple of things Yorktown related here. The Chamber Awards happened not that long ago. Tell me some highlights.
Yeah, so the highlight for me, obviously, is that I get to go and help recognize the Excellence in Public Service Award, which really highlights a staff member from Yorktown that really exceeded expectations for the year. The award went this year to Jamie Mikesel. He is our water superintendent. Mm-hmm. He's been on the job now for 2 years. He's kind of a savant when it goes.
Oh, wait a second. How did you know that savant was the WMUN word of the day, Chase Bruton?
Wanted to sneak it in there.
Oh, man, that was great.
But really, Jamie and his department as a whole have done a great job. They're really modernizing the water department. We had some old meters. We didn't have an updated geographic information system. He worked on that, and then we actually had a really big repair we had to do this year at the Park One water system. We had a catastrophic failure of a 350,000 gallon underground tank.
Wow.
That caused pressure to be lost in the water tower, and his team was able to circumnavigate that part of the system, shut it off, keep water in the tower, keep the water lines pressurized, keep businesses operating while we did a large repair in this underground tank. And so I was really impressed with how they handled it.
Last item before we let you go, for those that have heard you speak before and know you personally, you have some skill sets with respect to some physical competitions. Jiu-jitsu, am I saying that right and remembering correctly?
Yep, that's right.
So you're going to be on a PPV? Is that the deal?
Yep, yeah. So I'm competing on Sunday in Covington, Kentucky, for an organization called Kumite. It's an organization I really enjoy competing on. I was on their first show. It'll be my 7th time on their card. It's kind of in a cool old theater. It's on a stage. There's walkout music and all of that. So it'll be a good time. Excited about it. I feel ready.
Doing the pay-per-view again. Chase Bruton, town manager, Yorktown. I bow to your greatness. And I'm a little afraid too, because I could see you just taking me out.
I swear I'm friendly.
Geez, I hope so. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Chase Bruton, our first guest of this busy morning. Delaware County Today continues with more in a moment on WMUN. Okay, back to our video feed that continues during the hour and back to my closed circuit communication with my producer, Leslie Griffin. I'm going to come out of this bumper with our local news summary, and why don't you go summary directly into break 2, and then we'll see where we are timing-wise with our guest 2. That'll be Sue Arrington in our video audio multipurpose studio this morning. It'll be her first visit in here. At 8:45, I will connect via Zoom to Tammy Silverman, President and CEO of the Indiana Youth Institute. We try to talk to her monthly with an update of their work helping kids in Indiana. And they have some new suggestions and help for kids' health and mental health to talk about today, among other things. We'll have that coming up in just a little while. He did successfully use the word savant. If you saw the video replay, you know that I showed it to him. But the radio listeners did not know that. So see, you're on the inside. For our video replayers. There's something that, hold on a second here, for the video watchers here, let me just push one button and show you what our Sean Mattingly left for me out here. There it is. I'm not going to try and explain that on radio. Well, it's my face superimposed on an elf on the shelf head. We'll go turn that off again and go back to this. Okay, hot mic. Thank you, Tom Campbell, voice of WMUN, 822 this morning. Not nearly as cold as it was the last few mornings around here. Let's get our local news summary on now. These stories and more airing on all of our stations in East Central Indiana, and now for you on WMUN. All right, and Leslie, we're going straight out of this into break 2, and I'll take a look and see if my next guest has arrived. Stand by. I'm going to turn the microphone on now. Our video replayers have been seeing me talk to Sue Arrington as she is now in our room for the first time. They can hear you now, Sue. You want to get up nice and close to that microphone. Just adjust it where you're kind of like right at your chin.
Okay,
right
about there?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
All right.
So now you're even more famous than you were before.
Wow.
And you don't have a neck brace anymore, which is good
No,
too.
I don't. I got all the restrictions were lifted.
Good. Good. All right, we're going to go live on radio now. The next time I talk to you, we'll be on the air. So just one quick second. Hot mic. Welcoming in a new visitor to our video and audio studio, State Rep Sue Arrington, House District 34. As we bring you in, this is your first-hand perspective of our new room. What are you thinking so far, Sue?
It's very nice.
What do you think? What would you think we should do out here? Do you think maybe you have some ideas, or you could maybe germinate some?
Well, I mean, you could have a number of guests out here. You maybe
True.
have an audience.
True. Yes, we could. We could have a small dance, maybe. We actually have an idea for some musical things, too. I don't want to let that cat out of the bag just yet.
Oh,
But
I want to hear about that.
see, she likes secrets. Everybody does, no doubt about it. State Rep Sue Arrington, Democrat, Muncie, Indiana, House District 34. The first subject is the obvious subject, what has just transpired. I would obviously consider this based on what you've told me in recent history about your stance on the proposal of the redistricting of the congressional maps. You would consider that to be a win and a good thing for the people. Why don't you verbalize that for us first?
Absolutely. It was a real cliffhanger there for a while when the House majority voted it in. But, you know, throughout the whole time, the Senate leader was saying, we don't have the votes. And it turns out they didn't have the votes. And I say it's a real win because you told me that you've been able to show the map.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at that map and see what it does, not just, I mean, we heard a lot about Marion County and how it was divided up into 4 different districts. One person testified that the State House is on the north side of Washington Street in downtown Indianapolis. Right across the street is a restaurant called Cafe Patachu. It's in a different congressional district. And here in Delaware County, we were split. Most of the city would be going north up with Fort Wayne, but a little bit of the southern part of Muncie would go south down to the Ohio River.
And that's how it was proposed to be, but it did not come to pass. For our listeners, they've heard our coverage about that. The, as you said, the vote on the House side of the state legislature was yes, but the Senate ultimately voted no. So that issue is now dead. It is done until maybe the next time census data comes out. The way it's normally done is, am I right?
I think that's what's going to happen. It was extraordinary that it would be brought up in the middle of the decade. I mean, it's not been done this way before.
Full disclosure, other states have done similar sorts of things, have they not? You know, out of timing wise, I mean.
Year?
Yes.
Yes, some have, but we didn't, and I'm glad we didn't because really, as the author of the bill said over and over again, it wasn't a change because of population changes. It was for politics.
State
Told
Rep
us that many times.
State Rep Sue Arrington, House District 34 in studio. One of the other topics I wanted to bring up with you today, and thanks very much for always being so kind and visiting in person as often as you can. Sometimes we have you remotely, but that's normally because you're at the State House or on the way doing your work that you've been elected to do. Is a direct mail piece that came to our house. Nancy and I have it sitting on the kitchen table, and you've asked a a survey, a number of questions. I thought maybe I might ask you about some of those questions.
Okay.
In your survey, one of the things you're asking about is you're wondering if constituents think that the legislature should place an annual cap on the amount of public utility can increase consumer rates. Where does that question come from? And more importantly, what have you been hearing from constituents so far in your survey?
Well, I haven't gotten any feedback from the survey yet,
Okay.
but just, on the street, I'm hearing people are really being crushed by the utility increases. And I have to say, my own electric bill has skyrocketed. So I think there are things that the legislature has done. And again, we know who's in the majority there, and they're the ones that get these things done. Some of the bills that pass dealing with utilities have given very good deals to like these data centers, having the ratepayers, us, helping pay for what they're going to get.
Hey, yeah, you mentioned data centers. What is your position? I've never asked you. What is your position on data centers in Indiana? There's a lot of talk about those, some that are online and some that are being proposed.
Well, I think that, we probably need more data,
Okay.
but I think they need to pay their own way, just like the rest of us do. We should not have to pay for the construction and of those data centers.
Sue Arrington is my guest on WMUN's Delaware County Today. One of the other questions that I saw you asked in the survey that you've sent out recently to constituents is about health insurance or health coverage. And that's obviously a hot button for a lot of people in our midst and beyond. And you wondered if people might feel about an annual cap on amount health insurance providers can increase the consumer premiums. Are you hearing a lot of things on the ground about that from your constituents?
I'm hearing a lot from constituents about the cost of health care. And this is just one possibility of how you could keep a control of it. So I'm wondering, what do people think of that? A lot of what I put on my survey is really done to guide me.
Sure.
In what constituents feel, what they're living with, and how they would like to see us deal with these issues.
And one of the other questions that you asked on your survey is about first-time home buyers. You're wondering how people feel about supporting legislation that would provide tax savings for first-time home buyers. If that was to come to pass, do you have an idea of how that might be funded? How do you pull that off? If they say out there on your survey, "Hey, let's do that, Sue," how does that play out in your mind?
Well, I think that would be possibly something that the legislature would do, having to do with home buying. We know that the age of the first-time home buyer is getting older, so it's getting more and more difficult for younger people to buy their own homes. So we're really doing a lot of exploring, and that's one of the possibilities.
As you are you in session or coming into session? I got to phrase it right. Are you technically in session right now?
We're adjourned until
Okay.
the 5th of January.
Okay, very good.
But those 2 weeks that we had, the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
count as part of the session,
I see.
which means that we're going to get out 2 weeks early.
Okay, very good. Thanks for that specificity. Sue Arrington, House District 34, including the Muncie area, is our guest on Delaware County Today. I'm Steve Lindell in our brand new video audio super center. Hey, I think I just named it. Ooh, super center. Now Walmart's got that though.
Proud of this new studio.
I am. I like flashing lights. I like gadgets and gizmos, but boy, when they can be used, and this is serious now, when they can be used, Sue, to extend our ability to, as a radio station, a news organization, and a media outlet, to better communicate to people and communicate certain things in certain ways, I think that's better for everybody. So that's part of the reason I'm excited about it. My last question for you is also, I think it's on the other side of that direct mail piece that I've referenced. This is about the PAGE program. This is a neat opportunity that I wanted for you to share with our viewers and our listeners, how they can be involved with that, if you would.
Yes, it's a long-standing program with middle school and high school students to come to the State House for a day, and they get to take a tour of the whole building. I mean, they see the judicial branch as well as the legislative and the executive branches of government. They get to come into the chamber. So if it's they come to the House, and at a time when the rest of the public can't come in. So they get a little special treatment. And they get their picture taken with their legislator, and they ask us questions. In fact, they write some questions too.
Ah, really?
And then when we send them their picture, we can respond to their questions.
How can they consider or be considered to be involved with that PAGE program? What's the process like, if you would?
Well, they can call my office in Indianapolis, or they can go on the website. That's the way I think most people do it, is there's a drop-down link that says, I think, interns and pages, and that's where you can find the information so you can sign up.
All right, State Rep Sue Arrington, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming into our brand new facility. We'll be in the main building sometimes too. We're modular. We can move around. You were going to ask me something.
Yeah,
there.
I just wanted to tell you that it's an update on the Yellow Dot program.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's going to be it's rolling out. It will be ready the first of the year.
Remind people what the Yellow Dot program is.
That is a public safety program. If someone has an accident and they're unconscious or something, the first responder, if they see a yellow dot decal on the back window, they know that there's medical information about the people inside in the glove compartment.
And Sue Arrington did that legislation and got it passed to benefit everybody, and I think that's a really good one, Sue.
Yes, and it'll be first available at Lifestream and the other AAAs in Indiana.
All right,
That's
Sue
where you can
Arrington.
get it. It's free.
Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you.
Sue Arrington.
Great New Year.
Oh, absolutely. Let's all have a great new year. I'm Steve Lindell. This is Delaware County Today. More coming in a moment, including Tammy Silverman, the leader of the Indiana Youth Institute, via Zoom in moments, and that's on WMUN. Okay, back on mic for my video watchers and for my producer, Leslie. want to get the rest of my clicks out here. Almost ready here. Excuse me for coughing, everybody. Okay, Leslie, with Sue out of the building now onto her day, that part of our show is done. Let's go to the floater list next while we await the Zoom arrival of our guest. Let's go of those two floaters with the first one first in just seconds after I say hot mic, please. As we await live radio for our next guest, we have a triple list of guests today. Tammy Silverman will join us in just a moment, the Indiana Youth Institute leader, who I think you've heard her here before if you're a regular listener. If you're new to town or to radio, that's good too. We'd like to grow our audience. Hello, Mama in Minnesota, and Roger, I see you listening. Portland, Oregon, Left Coast, Sister Sherry, hi. We'll do some more shout-outs in just a moment. Let's get a snapshot of our day first. Okay, hot mic. On WMUN, the home of many things, including Tony Katz Today, that will air later today, noon to 3 weekdays. Tony Katz Today with a lot of breaking news and information that happens during his program, brought to you live as it is happening. That's very useful and direct. We also have some basketball to talk about, too. I think I mentioned it in the news summary earlier this hour. Steve Lindahl live on WMUN. This is the Muncie Central game, the boys basketball that will be played at Tipton instead of the North Walnut Street Fieldhouse. They moved the venues, as was explained to you on this program by Kurt Darling, Wolf Boom Sports Director, because of construction and updates happening at the North Walnut Street Fieldhouse in Muncie. So they moved that game to Tipton. We'll have that live on WMUN tonight, December the 16th. 6:50 is the pregame, 10 till 7 o'clock on WMUN. This is live radio. You always have to be ready for anything. We are awaiting the arrival in what we call the Zoom room of our next guest, Tammy Silverman. We are seeing on the preview screen, she has not arrived just yet. So while we await that, I think what we'll do is we will go to Janice Dean in the meantime and head to the mountains for this best of segment from 2021. All right. Tammy can hear me now in queue. I can see you ready to go there. And Leslie, my producer, will do this segment next, live from here. And next time I talk, Tammy will be on the air live. Stand by, everybody. Hot mic. Thank you, Janice. On WMUN, I'm Steve Lindell. This is Delaware County Today. Pleased and proud to bring in a guest in our Zoom room. Second time Tammy Silverman has been brave enough to come into our midst in this way. You know, Zoom, Teams, you got to meet people where they are in the way that they want to meet, right, Tammy?
You are so right. You are so right, particularly on really cold days, right? It's nice to be able to zoom in and be with you without trudging through snow.
And we're glad that you're with us. The president and CEO of the Indiana Youth Institute. I saw your newest article is entitled "More Joy, Less Stress: Why Giving Back Makes Kids Happier." Tell us what that's all about, Tammy.
Yeah, it's holiday season and there's a lot going on, and there's, rightfully so. My kids are doing the same thing, making wish lists and scouring ads and thinking about what they might want to receive. But the reality is that old adage of it's better to give than to receive holds true, not only for adults, but for kids. That same feel good response, there's feel good chemicals that get triggered in your mind when you do give back, and it really does help, and it's a real thing, and it helps our kids. So teaching them to give back, particularly at this time of year, and to think kind of outside themselves, is a positive action that we can all take.
And I'm looking at the notes here that you gave to me about how it can improve their mental health. It can help their. You said there's some sort of a chemical thing that's. Don't go doctor on me. I'm don't go way over my head. Let's go to the recent study. The JAMA Network Open found that kids and teens who volunteered were really in a really good sort of a situation. Explain some more of that, would you?
They are. So the American Medical Association, obviously their journal, they looked at what is this helper's high? What are these benefits for kids? And they found that kids and teens who volunteer are 34% more likely to be in excellent health, 66% more likely to be flourishing, which is one of the ways we talk about overall well-being, and 35% less likely to have behavioral problems. So again, real tangible benefits. They feel good about it, but it also results in some really significant impacts for our kids. So again, then it becomes, that talking about why that's important. We know that rates of depression and anxiety are significant amongst young people. So last year in Indiana, nearly 3 in 10 high school students reported persistent sadness or hopelessness. So again, giving back isn't going to solve everything, but it does offer, this really simple, accessible way to counterbalance some of those things. It's one of those protective factors, is how we talk about it, that can really pay dividends for kids.
Tammy Silverman is our guest on WMUN. I'm Steve Lindell. She is the leader of the Indiana Youth Institute. What are some examples by age category of kinds of things, Tammy, that they might be able to consider to do in ways of volunteering and so forth to help their spirit?
Certainly. And you do want to gauge these based on age. You don't want to set a 5-year-old. 5-year-olds can be involved. Little kids can really be involved, but you want to gauge it. So little kids, things as easy as donating gently used toys or books or clothes. Take them with you when you go to donate them. Don't just, you go and run it. It may take a little more time, but involving them is important. Having them write a couple thank you notes, whether that's for law enforcement or nursing home residents. Again, it's thinking beyond themselves. They can help with food drives, decorate some placemats for this time of year, that kind of thing. Right. Then as they get a little bit older, they can start to organize, whether it's a recycling project or neighborhood cleanup. They can start to volunteer. There are several organizations that have family volunteer opportunities, and they can participate in some of those charity walks. And then by the time they're in high school, this is where sometimes it's a little hard for parents. They need to step back and let the kids decide what are those give back projects that are most important to the kids, and let them take on a leadership role in designing and participating in those.
Obviously, you're talking about this subject as it relates to the holidays. There's lots of ways at this time of the year to to get involved. You could ring a bell for the Salvation Army, which is very time sensitive. You could do a lot of things with food drives and so on. But
You got it.
your notes also seem to indicate that this matters well beyond the holidays. So when you're factoring that in as the parent or guardian of these kiddos, I assume that you want to be mindful that this will have some life beyond just the holidays. Am I saying that right?
You are 100%. And if you're sitting here, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, no way we're going to squeeze that in before holiday break, that's okay. Because again, the benefits for kids are year round. And so again, we know that giving back teaches gratitude, empathy, and resilience, which are all things kids need year round. We also know that kids that volunteer are more likely to vote as adults. They're more likely to have stronger civic habits and experience a higher life satisfaction as adults. So whether it's before the holidays or into the new year, it still matters a great deal, and we'll end up with happier kids.
Tammy Silverman is the president and CEO of the Indiana Youth Institute in our Zoom room this morning. As our time runs out right now, I wish you an absolute Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Tammy.
Same to you. Thank you so very much.
Excellent. A great way to end our program today. This is WMUN's Delaware County Today from our video audio studio on the campus of Woof Boom Radio. We're on the south side of Muncie, Indiana. Our main building right across the parking lot is where our main offices and studios still reside, and in one of those, the Axia Command Center, my producer is Leslie Griffin, who gifted me and the radio station with this. Just this morning, we now have an official on-air light, which I will have to remember to turn on and off at the beginning and end of all broadcasts, but I think it's fancy and it's cool. Thank you very much, Leslie. And thank you for listening. I'm Steve Lindell. Back again tomorrow morning. We think we'll be in the video studio again, and we look forward to serving our community and building it up too. Have a great rest of your day from WMUN.